guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am really excited to share this video with you guys today. As you can see from the title, we are talking about the oldest makeup from my makeup collection. I have a bunch of products set aside here to talk about, but before we jump into this, I did want to let you guys know I am doing this video in collaboration with one of my favorite people here on YouTube. I love Niki so much, Niki Murphy, and I decided to do this collab together. She is such a sweetheart. She is such a genuine, real person. If you are looking for a channel to watch that is just authentic and real and funny, and she's just such a great person, definitely check out Niki's channel. I will have it linked down below along with her video linked below. But we decided to collab together, and she actually came up with this idea about the oldest makeup products in our collection, and I thought that was a great idea. As you guys know, I do a ton of decluttering here on my channel, and I'm constantly like getting rid of old things, so I thought it would be interesting to go through my collection and pull out the products that are older, because if they have stayed in my collection as long as they have, that means that I really love them, because I do get rid of a lot of makeup. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We did decide to go category by category, so I have the product from each category that's the oldest. So I have like my oldest foundation here to talk about, my oldest concealer, and so on. So that's what we're gonna be doing. But definitely check out Niki's video as well. Like I said, I'll have it linked below when you're done watching this one. So also, if you are new here to my channel, if you're just joining me from Niki's channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And I would love if you chose to join our little family here on YouTube while you're here. You can just click the subscribe button to be subscribed to my channel, and then don't forget that notification bell. I know it gets annoying hearing it, but it really does make sure that you don't miss out on any future posts. But let's go ahead and jump into this, because I do have one product from every category, so I have a lot sitting here. So let's do this. Okay, let's start with primer. So for primer, my oldest product, or my oldest primer that I could find in my collection, is this Becca primer. This is the Backlight primer. This is one of my absolute favorite primers. It's a really good illuminizing primer. It gives you a really nice amount of hydration as well. So if you have more dry skin, you'll probably be obsessed with this primer. I avoided for a long time buying this, even though I was hearing great things about it, because I have combo skin, and I was thinking it might be too shiny or too moisturizing for my skin, but it really has been great. It's been one of my favorite primers. This is the second tube of this that I've had. Now, because of the liquid products that I'm going to show you guys, even though this is my oldest one, it's not that old, because I'm really good about either using up or throwing away or passing along products when it comes to liquid products, because I don't want it to expire. So this is probably about a year and a half old, but it is my oldest primer from my collection. And this is my second one. Did I say that already? I already went through one full size of this. This is my second tube of this. I love it. It's so good. So yeah, that was my oldest primer. All right, next up for foundation. Honestly, this category was really hard. I was looking at my drawer and I was like, pretty much every foundation I have in there is less than a year old. I have either decluttered all my old ones or used them up, so I didn't have anything super old. So the oldest thing I could find was this Urban Decay foundation. I think this is about a year and a half old as well, and this is part of a makeup use up project that I'm working on, so I'm actually trying to use this up and it's almost gone. But this was the oldest thing that I could find. Yeah, that was it. Nothing too exciting there. So far with just the liquid products, we're not getting that old, but I do have some really old products here to talk about soon. All right, next up for concealer. Again, liquid, so not too old. This is about 2 years old. This is the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, and this shade is Chantilly. Now, I did buy this shade, and then I bought Vanilla, and Chantilly is my winter shade, and then Vanilla was my like spring summer shade. Vanilla I already used up quite a while ago, and Chantilly I am still working on. I feel like I just don't reach for it that much in the winter because I kind of forget about it, and then it doesn't work for me for spring, summer. So it's not gone yet, but I actually, when I pulled this out, I was like, yeah, I do kind of need to use that up. It is getting older. 2 years is kind of usually my max for a liquid product, so I really need to use this up or get it out. But I love this concealer. It is a really great concealer, so I don't want to throw it away. It hasn't changed consistency or anything like that on me. It doesn't smell So I am gonna keep using this, but hopefully I can use it up this winter season. Now let's get into some powder products. This is where it starts to increase a little bit, the age of products. So for face powder, the oldest face powder I could find in my collection is this Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I have had this so long. I'm honestly surprised I have not hit pan on it because I actually have used it a lot. I've probably had this powder, I wanna say 4 years, but it might be closer to 5. It's somewhere in between 4 and 5 years. I don't write down, I probably should like somehow log how old my makeup is. You know what I should start doing? We did this at Sephora right before I left. Anytime we opened a new tester, we would write with a permanent marker on it the date that we opened it. I might start doing that with my makeup collection so I can keep track of how old things are. I mean, you want your makeup to be pretty, but it's also very important that you're not using things past their expiration. So I might start doing that, but I can't remember how old this is. I know it's at least 4 years old, and I feel like powder products you can kind of get away with using longer. They definitely have a longer shelf life. So unless the consistency changes or it starts to smell weird, I'll kind of keep using it, and this hasn't changed on me, so I will still use it. I think it's a great drugstore powder. It's one of my favorite mattifying powders, and it's so affordable, so I would definitely recommend it. Pretty much everything in this box is something I would recommend getting because I've obviously kept it long enough to show you that I really like it. So yeah, this is a really good powder. All right, next up, let's talk about bronzer. This is another one that I'm having a hard time remembering how old it is, but I know it's old. This is from Smashbox, and it's called the Bronze Lights Skin Perfecting Bronzer. This one, I know they've discontinued. You cannot get this anymore. I did originally get this from Glambot. So when I got it, it was already used. So I don't know how old the product is, but I know that I've had it now for at least 2.5 years. So it's definitely older. This is one of those that might not make it through my next declutter just because I don't know how old it was when I first got it. It seems like it still blends nice, it still applies nicely to the skin, so I think it's still good, but it's definitely one of those bronzers that I need to get busy on using up, or it might need to go soon. Okay, next up, let's talk about this highlighter. I love this highlighter. This I actually just pulled into my Last Shot My Stash. I've been using it in my everyday makeup drawer, and I forgot how much I love it. It's such a classic. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. This is the old packaging. They have, like a while ago, changed the packaging on this, but I've had this one for 5 years. I definitely have. I still love it. I still feel like it applies nicely. Again, I feel like these powder products, you can kind of get away with using it until it starts to change on you, and it hasn't changed on me. This is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. It's just like the perfect amount of glow. It doesn't go on too glittery or crazy glowy looking. It just gives you a beautiful amount of glow. It looks sort of natural, but you can also still see it. It's just a beautiful highlighter. I highly recommend it. Like I said, they do have new packaging now, but they do still make this highlighter, so I would recommend it. There is a good dip in it. You can see I've used it a lot, but it was a baked product, so it's domed, and it definitely still have a lot of powder in here to use. I feel like highlighter is one of those things that I will never use up completely because when I apply highlighter, I'm very light-handed with it. So I don't usually use enough of one to actually even hit pan on it. But I love that highlighter. It's definitely one of the oldest things in my collection at this point, but I still love it. Okay, for blush, my oldest blush that I own is this Milani blush. This is called the Baked Powder Blush in Luminoso. Do they still make this? I hope they do. It's a great blush. It is a dupe for NARS Orgasm, if you've ever tried that one. It's a beautiful pinky peach color with a little shimmer. It's so stunning. I love this blush. Now, I've probably had this blush in my collection close to 4 years. I think I've had it about 3.5 years, maybe close to 4 years. So again, it's an older product. So yeah, I've had it a while, but I love it. So it's made it through a lot of declutters. I do want to let you guys know, I did skip a couple categories. I did not pull a brow product because I just go through my brow products. I don't have anything that's more than a couple months old because I get it and use it almost immediately. And same thing with mascaras because I don't keep mascaras. I use them and then I throw them out after 3 months. So I don't have anything that's like super old in those categories, so we're gonna skip those. For eyeliner, I had a little bit of a hard time figuring out what the oldest one is, but I'm pretty sure this Urban Decay liner is probably one of the oldest ones in my collection. This I probably had about 3 years. This is the shade Vice. I actually originally got this one in like a little gift set, so it's like a baby size, and it's a really pretty purple color. I love the 24/7 Glide On eye pencils. I think the formula on these is really nice. I have a lot of different shades, but I'm pretty sure this is my oldest shade, is Vice. So yeah, I really love it. It's a good pencil. It's made it through a lot of declutters as well. For eyeshadow, I went ahead and selected my oldest high-end palette and then my oldest drugstore palette, because I have two palettes here that are fairly old. One's high-end, one's drugstore. So let's just do this. So the first, for the high-end palette, my Lorac Mega Pro Original. I'm pretty sure this is my oldest high-end palette. I love this palette so much. I don't think I can ever get rid of this. I love it. It's so beautiful. The formula is great. You get so many shades in here. So yeah, I've had this, I mean, this is the original one. When did this come out? I don't remember, you guys. I want to say 4 years. I think it's been 4 years. It might be like 4.5 years ago that this originally came out, but I've had it a long time and I love it so much. Yeah, that's not going anywhere either. I don't care how old it is. It's not going anywhere. All right, and then for drugstore palettes, yeah, this is definitely my oldest drugstore palette. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone, the old palette. I did already purchase the newer formula of this, and it is not the same formula. It's not as good as this one, so I decluttered that, but I kept this one because it is so good. I'm so sad that they don't make this particular palette anymore. The new one is okay, but this was just great. Like the formula and quality of this eyeshadow palette is just so unbelievable for drugstore, and I've had this about 4.5 years now. I've had it a long time. I've got a lot of really good dips in each one of these shades. It's just such a beautiful palette, so I would recommend it if you could still get it, but you can't, so that's unfortunate, but I definitely have had this a very long time, so I had to include this in this video. Okay, moving on, I have a couple lip products to talk about. So for lipstick, MAC lipstick. This is some of the oldest lipstick that I still have in my collection. I'm pretty good about getting rid of things once they hit that 2-year mark. Sometimes I'll let it go a little past that, but usually around 2 years. If it's not used up, it's usually heading out. But this lipstick Snob from MAC, I've had about 3 years, and I definitely need to use it up. It is part of a project right now, so I'm working on using it up. It's such a beautiful color though. Like, I feel like once I use this up or declutter it, I will repurchase it because it's one of my favorite colors of all time. It's this really pretty blue-based really pretty blue-based pink color, and I just love it. It's such a great spring, summer color. Especially like with blonde hair and blue eyes, it's one of those classic combinations. So I wear this a lot. I really do enjoy it. But yeah, it's definitely on its last leg. It still smells good, so I'm still using it, but I need to use it up soon for sure. All right, and then for lip gloss, I have this Marc Jacobs lip gloss. This is in the shade Moon Glow. Now I have like hit the sides of this, like you can see that it's starting to look like it's almost gone. So I am close to using this up, but I have had this one again for about 3 years. So I really do need to use this or get rid of it. It is at that questionable point now, but it still smells good and it still applies nicely, so I'm still using it. But again, this is definitely on its last leg. I think a lot of these products that I'm showing you are close to needing to go soon. But, all right, and then I did have a setting spray I wanted to share with you guys. This is from Urban Decay. This is the All Nighter setting spray. So again, I feel like these setting sprays I go through pretty quickly too, because I didn't have anything too old in this category. This is my oldest one, and I want to say it's about a year old. So it's almost gone though, and I do already have a backup for it because it's one of my favorite setting sprays. All right, and then the very last thing I wanted to share with you, I did, as I was pulling products, I was looking at my perfume too, because it sits right on top of my Alex 9 drawers now, so I was putting product up there and I was like, oh, I should mention a perfume. So I did go ahead and select my oldest perfume from my collection, and that is definitely my Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb. As you can see, the color has kind of changed on this already, so I probably do need to get rid of it soon, but it does still smell nice, so I do still wear it. I have used about half of this up already, and it is one of my favorite fragrances. I love it so much. It is a very strong scent though, so definitely test it out before you purchase it. It's definitely very strong, and it is floral, but it's, in my opinion, it's more of a softer, sweeter floral, because I don't like really heavy musky florals. This is not a musky floral, it's more of a sweet floral. But the thing about this perfume is you can spray it on and like it lasts forever. Like the scent will stick with you throughout the day. You'll continue to smell it on yourself. And if you get any on your clothing will smell like this for like a month. Like it lingers. And I actually really love that about this fragrance because it's a fragrance that I love. But if you're not obsessed with the scent, you might not like that. So definitely be careful. It is very potent. Oh, did I say how long I've had this? I don't know if I did. So I've probably had this fragrance, I want to say 4 years. So yeah, this is definitely my oldest fragrance in my collection. Okay, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed this very quick little video just talking about some of the oldest products in my collection. After I pulled everything, I felt kind of good. I was like, okay, there's nothing in here that's too scary. There's a few that are definitely like, okay, Lisa, that's getting questionable, but nothing that was like super scary. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What is your oldest product in your collection? Did you, if you look through your collection, did you find anything that kind of scared you once you realized how old it was? I'd love to know about that in the comments down below. And again, thank you guys so much for watching today. Don't forget to check out Niki's video. I can't wait to see what she's got in her collection, what's lurking in her drawers. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.